All right, hello and welcome to another seasonal map cup cast, another random Automatch cast. This time again, Luciano versus Jett. This time on Clodney Firma. We have Luciano running Firestorm, Fortifications, and Special Operations. He insta-locks Special Operations, not really too surprising that he's not going to go full Panzer Grenadier and Greifen with Fortifications and Firestorm. Like I said before the start of this, that it wouldn't be very strong. He is the 10% faster defensive structures built on the Stern Pioneers, the lower cost on the medical supplies from the Stern Pioneers, again by 7%, and the faster manual gun barrage from the ISG by 25% faster recharge. And his opponent, Jett on USF, running Infantry Company, Heavy Cav, and Mechanized with triple Rifleman Bulletins, the 3% increase reload accuracy, and then 10% faster veterancy gain for that quicker Vet 1 and get those snares up a little bit faster. So we'll go ahead and see what they're going to do. For those of you who live under a rock or have never played Code 2 ever for the mini-map, we're going to go ahead and look at that. We don't have any really huge cutoffs except for here and here. This one definitely sees way more contention than anywhere else, as it will cut off the fuel in the south for the eastern player, and then the mimic in the north for the west. Munitions in the middle of the map with the offset VPs just a little bit, and we'll see how the first engagement goes, as it looks like it's going to happen up in the north between the Stern Pioneers and the Rifles. Rifles quickly turning around the nice steel barricade here from Luciano with that 10% faster build time on them to deny this green cover a little bit from his opponent as time goes on. And why is this so far out? He must have built it twice. Yeah, he deletes it straight away. There is another door that not a lot of people know about, or you don't necessarily see if you are new, so there is one hanging out back here, and he's going to use that to deny the garrison from his opponent. And those rifles that were spotted are going to head up in through the middle to the church. Rifles build the sandbags in a rather peculiar angle. I'm very surprised on this. He could build it right here and force his opponent to walk down negative cover to him, but this is directionally negated in a lot of ways from the engagement up north. But I guess it's a little bit better than you would traditionally see, as the engagement path that he's worried about is coming from that territory point. But looking to contest the cutoff, still no resource income once again from this cutoff down here. He's losing a territory point, munitions, and a fuel, but Jett will push those Volksgrenadiers off and recap that in no time. Rifles will fire into the back of the Volks as they cap up that VP, and rear echelons looking like they're going to just ignore the Volksgrenadiers chasing them past this territory point, and he's going to try and put the pressure onto his opponent's cutoff if he can. Another set of Volksgrenadiers, but also far pretty standard. I'm curious to see if he goes a fourth rifle squad. He has locked in the infantry company again, so this is most likely the exact same build from Jett with the lieutenant coming out, and then the rush into Major and the M4A3. Stern Pioneers up in the north, not really doing a whole hell of a lot. Garrison being contested by Luciano. He's trying to utilize this just with the extra damage negation for the highest cover that you can get in the game. Just short of green cover, obviously, but buying a lot of time, a lot of manpower here from Jett, just being eaten up by this one Volksgrenadier squad. And the retreat path, Stern Pioneers not quite here in time. He could have gotten a nice wipe from those Stern Pioneers on that retreating rifleman squad. And those Stern's still moving along. He's going to hop into the church and utilize that against his opponent. Another garrison being used. Ambulance the choice now for Jett. Rifles hanging up behind the decrepit carcass of a Panzer IV in this middle VP. Stern Pioneers firing away from the church. Volksgrenadiers hopping out of that garrison. 3 squads of them moving up behind the Stug, and are going to force these little old riflemen on and away. Meanwhile, down in the south, Volksgrenadiers are grabbing up their munitions point, and then he's going to most likely beeline it right to the cutoff again. Now, the ambulance being out, he's going to have that higher overall squad HP, and it'll help with the lieutenant coming with the bar immediately, that extra bit of firepower versus these Volksgrenadiers before they start getting the STGs out. But he's going to lose a little bit of map control if he manages to lose this engagement. It looks like he might. Yes. Lieutenant going to hop into the building for the increased line of sight around the building. He's going to spot those Volks. And this is going to be very, very hard for him to push out. He has no cover-denying mechanics, so fighting into this might be foolhardy. And we could just see Jett ignore this outright and just go north with all of his squads. Another set of hazard removal package RE is getting rid of the steel barricade here, opening up the infantry-only path through this. Lieutenant doing a good amount of work behind this old farm tractor. The stone wall, these models here are not behind cover, so they're the first ones to drop, and he will retreat those straight away. Meanwhile, Volk's Grenadiers going to retreat from that too. He doesn't want to stay here anymore. Mission accomplished. The flank was coming in, and fully capped in the favor of Luciano in the cover, or excuse me, the territory point. For the fuel and the double strategic points being gone, but I like these mines here from Luciano. Very proactive and early mines on a high traffic area. This can convert a lot of munitions into manpower bleed for Jett. Or better yet, if he does decide to go into a light vehicle, feeling the pressure just a little bit more than it was in the previous match, we could see the M15A1 overextend and go right down the road, as the light vehicles do prioritize those negative cover roads and get taken down from that. But the re-expansion in the south from Jay, trying to push up into the north. Riflemen do spot those Stern Pioneers. Stern Pioneers take a few pot shots. They see that they're not going to engage, and he just retreats, so he's going to lose that north VP completely uncontested. And Lieutenant down a model and about 25% HP. Going to push up onto this MG34, looking the wrong way. Of course, it sets up in one of the many windows that is not relevant, but it actually works out to his advantage as the lieutenant walks right up behind that, trying to get that cover for the Stug. Now, the other riflemen hanging out behind this, they don't have the MK2 frag nade, so they're not going to be able to find the connection onto that, but up close and personal, they're going to get a lot of damage onto this, as the suppression meter takes forever to fill up on that lieutenant. But the second MG34 is going to threaten pushing into this. The hazard removal package from the RE is going to spot both of these shoe mines, so hopefully Jett is paying attention that they are there, as the aura from those. MG34 is going to go ahead and head home. He's not going to be able to take this garrison. He wants to, but now he's put these riflemen in a very precarious situation, and that retreat path is not going to be friendly. He's lucky those Stern Pioneers did not hang out right here for this. A little bit, arguably, misplay from Luciano, missing a lot of damage onto these rifles, as they were pretty low to begin with. He could have gotten the block with the Stern Pioneers and just followed with this, the Volks or vice versa on that squad. USF mortar coming out, the M20. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of the map lost. Really interesting, though, is that Luciano feeling very confident in this match. And instead of going for the battle group and going for the 251 flak half track, he is going to go into mechanize and get the P2 out. That P2 is going to be unstoppable. No mines, anything down yet for Jett. The only thing that he has is the armor-piercing bullets for the 50 cals, and the P2 honestly has a very high armor count. Doesn't really care unless it's a rear armor for those, and once again, it has to basically just stand still. Despite the 10% faster veterancy, he only has one squad with Vet 1 on these riflemen. He's very close on 2 of them, so he could snare it up multiple times and get it. But most likely not going to be able to capitalize on it, even if he does get it snared. Another shoe mine down. He did remove the 1. He did manage to get it diffused. Another shoe mine down. A lot of munitions usage just into the shoe mines here. Still managing to get the SCGs out. It just shows you how much map control he has, but the P2 is going to show. He hears it before he gets shot by it, so he retreats straight away. P2 will chase it down. Luckily, he has some sight blockers to mitigate maybe a little bit of damage, but that negative cover burst really didn't do him any favors. And this is most likely a dead rifleman squad as he's merging through there, and they split up a little bit. But yeah, it looks like he's going to drive right into the base for this. He doesn't have anything shooting at him yet, and this could pick up an ambulance. One model left. Can he get it? And he does. Rifleman squad goes down, and the P2 is more than content with that. Finds the M20. M20 is going to have to head home. Meanwhile, the RE squad that's wants to get these shoe mines taken care of. It did get the 1. The MG34 does finally suppress it. 50 cal firing at it on and away. P2 finding the lieutenant. The lieutenant doesn't even have snares. It's going to force a retreat from that, and the P2 is going to maraud across this map completely uncontested. I'm very curious to see if he goes weapon racks. And he hasn't. So he's... Oh, you know, he has. So RE should get the double Zook here. Hopefully. He has more than enough munitions for it. 50 cal trying desperately. No armor piercing used. So it's just shooting at it to shoot at it. He's going to have to pick it up and leave out of here sooner rather than later. And it looks like he's... Oh, there's the armor piercing. Now the sight blocking here going to be a little bit annoying, but look at how very little damage this does. It's... Like, he has to be completely AFK for him to lose this. He can just sit here and man fight it, no problem. While the model loses its mind inside of that. Gets tagged out by a rifleman squad. It is Vet 1. Second P2. Luciano smells blood in the water. Wants to push his advantage with these light vehicles. This could work against him. OKW, air quotes, blob, moving up into the north. And this retreat path just got very dangerous for these rifleman squads as he is looking to contest this territory point. Wanted to work his way over into the fuel. M20 casually just bombing out this, once again, the small eastern front planked house. And doesn't find a whole hell of a lot. P2 comes up to say hello, and this is a dead rifleman squad for sure, and this is most likely just GG. 500 manpower down the drain at the 11-minute mark. Second P2 coming out on the horizon. Has he gotten the bazookas onto this yet? No. He has 1 bazooka instead of 2. So it's just a light deterrent for light vehicles. He needs a real answer, and he's not going to be able to find it. With Lieutenant, all he has is the M20 and the M15A1 flak half-track. It's just he has no way of actually stopping these. He snares this to survive, but the problem is there's a second cat out here to play, and it picks up a third wipe, and down they go. Luciano coming in with a vengeance from the previous game, not feeling the stomp that he recently received from his opponent J for Jett this time around, but looks like J for Jett's strat not working on a different map. Still not throwing in the towel. Trying to stay into this. SCG Volks. 3 squads now. Much earlier Raketin than 19 minutes from the last game. Anticipating potentially maybe he miscalculated his opponent's resources. The M4A3 is going to magically materialize at the 12-minute mark. I really doubt it, but building it just in case. Just in case he manages to throw just a little bit. Buys him a wee bit of room. M20 fires down, doesn't hit anything. MG34 sets up to cover from the church and the munitions in the north. P2 rolls up, finds one of the 50 cals, trying to set up. And with the AoE on the shells against this green cover, this is actually a ton of damage coming in onto them. And then another negative cover retreat path. The P2 will proceed to chase. And he's still going bars onto these rifles. And he's looking to actually ram into this. It looks like that's what he wanted to do. But he sets up on what would be the retreat path if he hopped out of there. And that would have been a hell of a lot of damage. Sight blocker here does buy him a little bit of time. SCG Volks move down onto the cutoff, taking everything, every last ounce of hope that J for Jett had is being taken on and away. He's looking for that snare, but oh wait, they don't have Vet yet. 13 minutes into the game, 50 cal sets up. He went 1 LMG and 1 Zook. That's not enough, and the 50 cal is finally setting up. Wants to use those armor piercing rounds, but too little too late. It's going to get focused down and go on down. M2 fires. Another Raketin. The P2s are just going to sit here and annihilate this army from J for Jett. Ambulance goes down. 50 cal trying its damnedest to go out, and there it is, GG. Definitely a much better showing this time around from Luciano. He actually capped both parts of his cutoff. We're learning. But either way, Luciano picks up with ease this victory over J for Jett with the help of the P2. And that'll be all that she wrote. So we'll go ahead and get on to the next one. And we'll see you guys after this.